Hey, it's me, Tim, and I'm going to apologize up front for that ridiculous thumbnail and like clickbaity thing I just did. I just did that to kind of sort of make a little fun of that sort of culture and to prove a point what I'm going to talk about in a second. But so first off, if you're here because you fell for that, I'm sorry. You're probably not going to like the rest of this video, but maybe you will find it refreshing that I'm going to talk some real earnest talk for a minute and also show you some of the stuff that I have going on around in my shop in real time. So yes, you're watching me on YouTube, but I'm not really like a YouTuber. This is where I share some of my artistic ideas because I enjoy just the process of making the videos and communicating with people this way. But you know, really, to be honest, I'm here to sell the things that I make, not to be an influencer to sell things that other people make, whether I believe in them or not. Although there are a few companies that I do occasionally work with that I do really believe in, but they're like friends of mine at this point. But I'm here to sell the stuff that I make. And someone recently commented on how they appreciated how earnest I was. I think it was my sales pitch for my my center square tool that I sell over at squaretools.com. And I was saying it like, well, you don't really need this, but if you want it, you know, you can use that. And yes, all the stuff I make you probably don't need. And I'm so sick of seeing these like influencers talking about every product that they're getting paid to say, you need this, or you should have this, or everybody has this. It just gets worse and worse every year. And I want you to know that this is a safe space where you don't have to deal with that. I'm going to show you the things that I'm making and selling. I'm going to talk about why I make and sell them. And hopefully you guys, some of you will be interested enough to maybe buy them, but I'm not going to lie to you. I'm just not. So yeah, a lot of my videos are about things that aren't for sale. They're things that are already sold, like custom builds that I make for people. Sometimes they're just these sort of fun experimental ideas that I want to, you know, experiment with in guitar making and in sustainability and reclaimed woodworking and stuff. And a lot of the times these things are for sale. I make a lot of guitars every year, and I don't film all of them. I only really film the ones that I think are unique or special or interesting. In a lot of ways, like some of the failures, like this acoustic guitar over my shoulder. Like this is like this project that I've been working on off and on for years. It's got a lot of flaws in it, and so like I film all the things that like when I don't really know what's going to happen, because that's the stuff that I think is interesting that I like to share with you. Again, I'm a bad businessman. I should be up here saying I know everything and all my stuff is the best, but I show you all the stuff that I'm still figuring out. So while I was making some custom builds that you've seen on this channel, I've also been making all these instruments behind me. I have the Apeiron series, which is going strong, and there's a ton of videos about the Apeiron series from before I knew what I was doing. But now when I know how it's going to turn out, I don't film it like this one. This is number 26. But if you go over to apeironbase.com, you can learn all about those things. So that's the really only change since the last Apeiron video. On the Classic, I'm doing this two-tone color thing, and also now the cavity cover is magnetic, so you don't need a screwdriver to access the battery. In the past, I had like a plastic battery box that was separate. Come on, I can't close this one. Hang on. On some of the very first ones, you would needed a screwdriver to get in there, and then I started adding a battery box, but I hated the look of that, and so now I've got this simple design, which I think is great. And everybody always asks me, why are the knobs on the back? Simple, so they're not on the front. While messing around and experimenting with the colors, I also thought I would mess around with doing the two-tone thing in a different direction. So this is a mixture of wood with a black front. And I was also, now this is an option I've had a lot of people ask me about. I now will put fret lines in the fretless Apeirons. That's an option that's now available. If you go to Apeiron Base and you go into the Design Your Own section, you can do that. I also made a couple bass sixes that are available. This is George number 12, and got it pretty much dialed in the accoutrements and the setup on them. And this is the way that this, you know, bass is going to continue on for a while. I love this bass six. I think it's a ton of fun to play. One slight change is that I am using the Gibson style tune-o-matic bridge on this now, which is a slightly tighter string spacing. I was using more of the Fender style, but a lot of bass six players don't like those, and I can kind of understand why. I'm not a big fan of these either, but that's something I'm working on in the background too. Some hardware ideas that hopefully I'll be getting to this year. There seems to be this sort of hole in the market for bass sixes. I thought I would introduce a another base 6. And so this is my Liberator body style here. It's a little bit different than that one. It's a little bit more stripped down. But this is a really cool instrument. It's first of its kind, and I will definitely be making more of these. Once this one sells, I'll make this a regular part of my inventory as well. And of course, I can do custom versions of all this stuff, which is all available for sale at newperspectivesmusic.com. And when you go there, there are audio examples. Another popular instrument is the Lutz bass, which is sort of my answer to just like a very classic full-scale bass guitar. And I did make a slight upgrade to these. I'm now making them with a tapped humbucker. In the past, I made them because I was going for this vintage P-bassy thing. I was just putting this very simple single coil pickup in them. But I wanted to sort of make them a little bit more modern and versatile. So now we have this toggle switch on here, so you can actually turn half the pickup off and you'll basically have that pickup just like a single coil, and you can turn it on to a full humbucker for a little bit of a bigger, darker sound. So this is like a prototype version of that, as well as right here behind me. Humbucker. And I think other people might want to put them in their builds too, or maybe even modify some of their. So I made a couple to put up in my store of these humbuckers that you can just grab. And they come with a humbucking router template, so you can go right over potentially an existing hole in your instrument. And you could also, if you're creative and like to mess around, you could just make like a wider plate or something to cover a larger hole, or if you're doing scratch builds. Single coil. I am still stocking these single coil pickups, and I have them on sale because I am switching over to the humbucker. So you can grab what's left of those and use those in your future builds. They're great pickups. They have that really vintagey sound. Of course, the double bass pickups that I designed and shared with you here and made on this channel are still selling great, and they're starting to get out there in the world, and it's really exciting for me to see that, because this is, like I said in those videos, a decades-long project. And I have some like limited edition ones that I make when I find some sort of like cool little scrap of wood. I'll make however many I can out of that, and then put those up as limited editions, and that's all over at the website too. But the cool thing about being like just a small independent businessman that really doesn't advertise a lot outside of what I do here, that means that you can just reach out to me. There's a contact form on my website, and if, like, say you wanted a different style of pickup or something, I might be able to make it for you. Like, I just recently made a 5-string humbucker for a guy. Or if, of course, all my guitar builds are mostly custom, like that's mostly what you see here. So you can just reach out to me there, and sometimes I can just make these things for you. And it's really a great, I love that I can run my business this way, that I'm not like feeling like I'm under the gun to peddle a bunch of product that I don't care about or believe in. I can really pick and choose the jobs that I want, and take the time to experiment and play, and sometimes find these really neat ideas. And coming up soon, I have a couple more ideas I'm very excited about that will be available. I have some tools I'm working on for squaretools.com, and I have some other stuff I'm working on for newperspectivesmusic.com. So stay tuned. I can't wait to show you what's coming next. This is just what's been happening all the while in the background while you've been seeing the stuff that I've been putting here. So it's like you're behind the scenes, I guess. Be good. Something else I've been working on behind the scenes is sprucing up my on-camera look, but I promise I'm not a YouTuber. But I always get tired of it, because every time I try to talk to the camera and I wasn't doing, showing my hands working, my background always looks like this. I just have this very, medium-sized working shop. It's nothing fancy, and it's not camera ready. It's always a mess. There's always a million projects going on. So I took this space here and sort of, I moved a couple tools around and just cleaned up this little area, this corner of my shop. I don't know if you can, I'm trying to give you the context of it. You see, there we go. No context. There's the CNC right off camera. There's more tools right off camera. And I just cleaned up and painted this little area, added a little bit of extra lighting. So now I can appear to be in some like beautiful music room or something. It's all smoke and mirrors, man. Still just my dirty shop.